What's the worst reason you had sex with someone? They had the same name as me. I thought it would be cool to moan my name during sex. It was. Edit to save time, my name is Kyle. Oh, you're so hot, a gay Jewish Democrat. Ooh. I know I am, a gay Jewish Democrat. Direct quote. Hey, my slutty friend wants to fuck you. No words were exchanged. And people say romance is dead. Pity. He was a perfectly nice guy, not unattractive, but for some reason could never seem to get a lot of interest. I slept with him after a party because I wanted him to feel better about himself. You are a hero. Because she was there, and she kind of followed me home. Me, I'm gonna bounce. Her, great, I love your place. Me, okay. Maybe she thought you had rented a bounce house and wanted to have fun. Then had sex with you to hide her disappointment at the lack of bounce houses. Took her to the bounce house isn't a terrible euphemism for sex. Consoling her during an emotional breakdown. In the middle of going through all the reasons why she's a terrible human being and failure, she gets to not being attractive and that no one will ever want her. Insisting on how good she's looking, she's suddenly turning this into a sexual advance. I didn't want to have sex and thought she wasn't in the state to decide, but I felt rejecting her would crush her even more. Ah shit, now I'm gonna have to bang her. Because she surprised me by waiting naked in my room for me. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I didn't think she was all that. She wasn't ugly or repulsive, so why hurt her feelings? Edit for the people strenuously trying to misunderstand. I am not saying that I would seek to hurt the feelings of someone that I thought was ugly. I am saying, and pretty obviously so, that it was no big deal to me to go ahead and save this girl the rejection because it wasn't as if I was being asked to have sex with somebody that I really wouldn't want to have sex with. It would not be something I found unpleasant or traumatic to do. She pulled the naked man on you. IT works. Because I'd spent the prior couple hours certain that her better-looking friend/roommate was trying to get me into a threesome. Hot friend said I should leave the party and go back to their place. Hot friend was playing wingman for her friend. By this time I was already deep enough in it that I thought maybe I'd still have a chance with hot friend. Bait and switch. She said she was a white supremacist. My mother is Jewish. So I fucked her just so I could tell her after that she just got fucked by a Jew. Edit. Although, that could be considered the best reason to do it. Edit numero 2. Wow, gilded. That's so cool. Thank you, anonymous person. Edit Trez, gilded. Thanks/you/Albion helper for pointing out my typo. Edit Cuatro, working on my Spanish. There has been a lot of, but Jews are white. So I guess I use the terms white supremacist and neo-Nazi racist hate-monger fuckwad interchangeably. I hope that clears things up for everyone. One last edit, Cinco. It's been fun reliving this memory with all of you. My GF is giving me a look like it's time to be done working. Hope everyone has a good evening/day. Thanks/you/Florianopolix for subtly pointing out I may be over my edit quote. A smile. Because I was too lazy to give him a blowjob. This dude was pissing me off all night, and I noticed he was trying way too hard to sleep with this one girl, so when he was off getting a drink, I started talking to her. Didn't even like her, just wanted to piss the dude off. Bigger girl at a bar bought me shots and said I probably suck in bed. I felt the need to prove her wrong. Ha. You bought it hook, line, and sinker. I needed a place to crash for the night. We called those girls innkeepers in college. Where'd you go to college, Helgen? I thought bitchy girls were hot, and then I continued to have sex with her. For a long miserable year, because I'm an idiot. No, you're a notter. You're goddamn right I am. Edit, I don't rape baby seals. It was the last girl I hooked up with before I met my fiancé. She wasn't too great looking, but I was drunk and horny and she grabbed my package in the bar, so why not? It's kind of a fucked up story actually. So we get back to her place with her roommates, one of them being a guy who was hanging out with us that night. Her and I start going at it and this chick is loud. Everyone in the house could obviously hear us. A couple minutes later the dude starts banging on the door yelling at us, asking what the fuck is going on and telling us to shut the fuck up. She has a moment of realization and says, "Oh my god, what am I doing? He and I are dating." I felt so bad. I messaged the guy the next day and told him how sorry I was. I'm guessing things didn't work out between them. Ouch. Sucks for that other guy. Was she drunk or just getting back at her boyfriend for some undisclosed reason? She was pretty drunk too. I don't know what the deal was between them, but I felt bad either way. The worst part is she said I had to leave but I was too drunk to drive. She left the room to go talk to him and by the time she got back I had passed out. I'm really lucky nothing happened to me while I was asleep. She just took me back to my car in the morning and it was a little awkward. He asked very politely, "Excuse me, but would you mind terribly if I placed my penis in your vagina? I am so awfully sorry for any inconvenience." That sounds like how the vision gets laid. Edit, wow, this was exciting. Thanks very much for the gold. He promised me carnitas. I got to his place and saw no carnitas. He had a huge dicto macron __/ macron. So he gave you chorizo. I was offered sex the other day with a 21-year-old girl. In exchange I was supposed to advertise some kind of bathroom cleaner to my friends. Of course I declined because I am a person of high moral standards with strong willpower. Just as strong as Ajax, the super strong bathroom cleaner, now available scented lemon or vanilla. Edit, to all the people complaining about how this is copy pasta, I saw the question, I remembered the joke, I found it on /r/jokes. I just thought it would be pretty funny for this question in particular. Turns out I gave a lot of people a good chuckle, so I'm satisfied. That's the whole point of making a question not serious. My best friend's 16th birthday, in Britain that's the age of consent, I was 17 and I took his virginity. I forgot to get him a present. I hated myself for months afterwards. Greater than I forgot to get him a present. No you didn't. Because her name was Storm. I walked around drunkenly that night, telling all my buddies I had the X-Man dick. I had a girl pay my month's bill if I had sex with her. My month's bill at the time was $45. She was a 5/10. So you prostituted yourself for $45? She was in a leg cast and thought what a challenge. A female friend and I decided to have sex to see what it would be like. It completely ruined the friendship. She started having feelings for me. I didn't want a relationship. Edit, it worked out okay though. Everything's cool now. I had sex with a girl to cover up my gayness to my friends. Edit, I tried replying to a few questions but I was on my phone and just replied to my own comment. Sorry, my friend does this, it's not working, and he manages to have sex with gorgeous woman. So while us straight guys scrap over regular looking girls, this closet homo is running around like Casanova reluctantly banging models. It's insane. He is super good looking to be fair, but still. He's a good guy and I love hanging out with him. But taking him out is starting to get complicated. Girls see him and we just look like garbage in comparison. She cooked me a steak. That is a great reason to have sex. She told me she would kill herself if I didn't, and I was young and naive enough to believe it. Caused me much more harm than good in the long run, too. My buddy bet me a case of Shiner I wouldn't. So you fucked your buddy for a case of Shiner? Damn. Times must be hard. Edit, wow. Highest rated comment ever. And second highest also came within this same question. Back to freaking back. Only thing left to do is get gold. I had been flirting with him all evening to make my ex jealous. In the end I didn't want to be a cock tease, especially as he was a nice guy. You are an honorary bro. to get her pregnant. Hindsight is 2020. For tacos. FWB had some tacos and I said come over and bring them. He showed up and hadn't brought the tacos because he assumed I was using it as an excuse to invite him over. I still had sex with him, but I was pretty upset about not getting a taco. Edit, so far there are 19 variations of at least he got the taco comments, so please stop and read those instead of commenting with your own lazy pun. Was in a computer science class. Was not a computer science major. I really struggled in the labs. I noticed that a lot of the students were not willing to help each other because they felt that it was their code even though everyone's code was meant to be exactly the same. There was a girl who sat next to me during the lab. TL Doctor, I invited her out one weekend, ended up making the beast with 2 backs, and she helped me the rest of the semester. Did well in the class after that. Pity. He didn't get anyone, so I had sex with him. It was the worst sex of my life. Mystery solved, I guess. There was a blizzard out and I didn't have any cash and didn't want to walk to the ATM or wait for the night bus. So I told this dude I'd fuck him at my place. We were at a party, if he paid for the cab. It was -35 that night, so totally worth. There's Uber now though, so I don't have to do that anymore. You know, you can tell the cab company you need to go to the ATM. Venue that was holding a Comic Con a few years back was serving alcohol. I cosplayed as the Joker, and I got pretty drunk beforehand. Naturally, I ran into a Harley Quinn cosplayer. We took pics together with people for a while before I headed back to the bar. She followed, and I figured why not? Went back to my hotel room while friends were at the con, and did the deed in full cosplay. Worth it. Because I was lonely and wanted to feel cared for. Being manic depressive, having social anxiety, and being a combat vet, I tend to avoid people. I had not had any human contact in about 5 years aside from the people I encounter at work, prison inmates. Hate to admit it, but a friend of mine saw my advanced state of hermitude and convinced the cute lesbian at work to help out a co-worker. She helped out a lot after about a 32-pack split between us. The real question is where you buy 32 packs. I'd never slept with a Malaysian girl before. The flag game. Good work. To stop a conversation that would lead to her finding out I cheated. Shad, I know you're cheating on me. Oh, you wanna fuck? Alright then. She drove a long distance to meet me. Because I wasn't in the mood to argue anymore, and I know she gets hella horny when we do, so we just started fucking. How to not resolve problems 101. Heard she had one of those oversized clits that look like a little dick. Had to see that shit. I was with a girl who had a big clit. She had like a 6 inches clit, right above her balls. I liked his best friend and his best friend wasn't paying attention to me. Another time, I had sex with a kind of gross guy because he thought I was really hot and I thought he might worship my body in bed. He didn't even go down on me, but I kept hooking up with him for like 2 months because my roommate was dating his roommate. Worst sex ever. I just wanted to have sex. I was still a virgin. Every one of my friends have had sex and were always talking about who they had sex with, how many times, etc. When the girl I had a crush on found out I never had sex yet, I felt embarrassed and not grown up. I then decided that I would be more aggressive if I ever had the opportunity in the future. Well, the next summer I found out this girl I worked with kind of had a thing for me. I decided to go out on a few dates with her. I then found out from her that she has had sex with 4 other guys. I figured this was my best chance, so when she asked me one night if I wanted to go to her bedroom, I stupidly said yes. Long story short, we were not compatible. I kind of regretted our relationship for a while after we dated. We did not get along well at all, and it sounds shallow of me to say, but she was kind of ugly. But I just wanted to have sex. I like how you started and ended your anecdote with the same line. Nice literary technique. I always enjoy reading things more when people do that. Because I hadn't had sex in over a year. I had already slept with both of her roommates and just felt like I should. I met her on Tinder and went over to her place. She opened the door and didn't really look like her pictures. It was too late and I was past the point of no return, so I just sucked it up and went for it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my proudest moment. She wasn't hideously ugly, she just wasn't what I expected. Edit, great, now my top rated comment is about how I got catfished. She was my boss and I wanted to keep my job. If you think bad sex is waking up the next morning with a hangover and thinking, oh god, what have I done, try being completely sober and thinking, let's get this over with as quickly as possible before you even start, and then during the actual act doing your best to distract yourself from what's going on while reminding yourself that it has to end at some point. Because I liked another girl who was with another guy, both of whom I lived with, and just wanted to lose my virginity as fast as possible. Edit, for the record, this is shared university housing, so not family. Didn't see it before, front page frown, but this is too good. In line for kebabs at a festival, a guy says to a girl, I lost all my friends. She then says, I lost all my friends too. They exchange looks, and without saying any more, they go behind the kebab tent and fuck. Because it was the ex's mother. Because Fear Factory was playing in the background, worst sex I've ever experienced. Liked what you saw? Hit like, subscribe and the bell icon for more crazy Reddit content.